Alright, welcome back. We are going to, I've moved the Secure CRT terminal over to the left because at this point we have a fully functioning site A with internet reachability, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to reproduce basically that entire configuration on site B. We're going to try to rip through it a little bit quicker since we've seen it one time already. I know one change I'm going to introduce here is in the last site, we defined the interface VLANs or the SVIs, switched virtual interfaces. We defined those on switch 1 for VLAN 200, well, really for all of them, right? We put all the default gateways we're living on switch 1, okay? We're going to do true router on a stick this time around, and we're going to put all those gateways on the router itself, okay? So you guys can kind of see how you can move gateways around and kind of play around with the configuration. Again, it's all depends on your particular environment and how you need to get things done. So you can see, right, so we've got VLAN 100, 200, and 300 defined on the switch over here. We're not going to see these in site B. We're going to basically put those on the router. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll, like I said, we'll try to go a little bit quicker here just because we've already seen this one time. So we can start, we'll start on switch 1. Okay, so host name be switch 1, right? VLAN 100. We can use, so we can actually define multiple VLANs at once. So if you hit the VLAN 100, 200, 300, and we'll just go ahead and say 400 as well, okay? However, if you do that, you can't name them separately. You'll have to go in and name them individually. So if we do that, now we've just essentially created all four VLANs in one fell swoop. So I'm not sweating the names because they're pretty much accurate anyway. So now we've got to do interface E01. We're going to say switch port encapsulation, switch port trunk encapsulation.1q, switch port mode trunk, okay? We'll give it a description. We'll say this is trunk to BR1, all right? So that gives us our trunk up to the router, okay? So let's go into E00. What did we make PC1 on switch? What did we make PC1 over here? We said PC1 got VLAN 200. Okay. We should probably, it doesn't make sense. We should probably make 100, 200, 300, kind of thing, but we use 100 for management, so it kind of breaks that, doesn't it? Okay. Fair enough. Well, we'll say 200, so we're going to say switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 200. Description, we're going to say link to PC1, okay? Alright, so that gives us connectivity to the PC. And now let's go ahead and do 2 and 3. So let's do interface range E02 to 3. We're going to say switch port trunk encapsulation.1q, switch port mode trunk. We're going to say channel group 1 mode active, okay? Then we have to go into the port channel and we need to basically do the same stuff. All right. So show VLAN brief. We've got our 4 VLANs. We see that we've only attached one to an interface, which is for PC1. If we show interface trunk, we can see that we've got 0, so 1, 2, and 3. Right, probably because the port channel is not operational. Yeah, it's suspended. So let's come back. We'll do verification. Let's get switch 2 configured real quick. So host name B switch 2 VLAN 100, 200, 300, 400. Okay. Interface E01, description, link to B, PC3, switch port mode, access, switch port, access, VLAN. I just gotta check which VLAN PC3 was in. So that was 300, okay. We can do our spanning tree port fast. All right, fine. Interface E00, description, link to B, PC2, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN. Let's just check this one as well. So PC2 was 200, spanning tree port fast, okay. And then we got to do the port channel side. So interface, range, E02 to 3. We can do a description, it's fine. Description, port channel, members, to be, switch 1, switch port trunk encapsulation, .1Q, switch port, mode trunk. Okay, and then we gotta say channel group 1 mode. We can say active on this side. Doesn't matter. Remember, we can do active, passive, active. So we'll say active. It creates port channel 1. So now we gotta go into port channel 1. Description, trunk to B, switch 1, switch port trunk encapsulation .1Q, switch port mode trunk. All right, so now let's check our ether channel. So that looks good. We see that it's layer 2, it's in use and up, it's using LACP. We see both members have a capital P, which means that they are bundled and happy. Now if we do show interface trunk, okay, this looks better. We can see port channel 1, and it's allowing all the VLANs, which is perfect, right? So let's go back to switch 1, and let's hit the up arrow on the ether channel summary. We can see that it's now happy as opposed to suspended. Show interface trunk. We can now see that we've got 2 trunks, one going to the router, one for the port channel. So similar story as before. That's all well and good. Just occurred to me, let's go ahead and just add the route to the internet while we're at it. So in this case, well, let me do it real quick. So IP route 0000, 0000. It's going to go to, essentially it's going to go to, the next hop is going to be the VLAN 100 interface, which resides on router 1. So if you recall, a router 1, right, so he had this address defined 10101, so this will be 10201, and if you look at the switches, that's the wrong switch, sorry. So you can see we had that 10101, right? That route that pointed to there. So we're essentially just kind of mimicking that over here. So we're going to go ahead and say IP route 0000, 0000, and it's going to go to 10201 name INET. Okay. We can use the same exact route for switch 2. Alright, so that's there. So now we've got to create a bunch of interfaces on the router. So you can see brand new configuration, there's nothing on it. We've got to slap IPs on all the PCs as well, and gateways for that matter. Host name B, router 1, alright. So let's do interface E00. Let's do a show IP interface brief. We can see everything's down. I've actually added 4 additional interfaces on this particular box, so we've got 8 instead of 4. It's just something you can do in the sim, not a big deal. But either way, ETH00, okay, we're going to do description. We're going to say trunk to be switch 1. We are going to no shut him, okay? And if you recall, that's about all we need to do on that raw interface, because we're going to create sub-interfaces, router on a stick. So I don't need to type exit, but I wanted to show you. So we'll say interface E00, hit the question mark, we get the dot now, right? So we're going to do 100. We'll say description VLAN 100 gateway, okay? Encapsulation .1Q 100. Remember, that's the important piece. And then IP address will be 10.2.0.1 with a /24 mask. You shouldn't have to no shut that one because the raw interface was already up. Okay, so now we've got 100 created with the respective IP. So we're going to just do that essentially 3 more times. So interface E00.200, description VLAN 200 gateway, okay, encapsulation .1Q 200 this time, IP address 10.2.1.1, okay, now we can just jump right to E00.300. Sorry, 10.2.2.1. And then let's just do 400 as well. I don't know why I'm there shutting it. Interface E00 dot 400. Ten to 3.1. Okay. Repetition, 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 right? But now, as promised, so the router has all the gateways, okay? So we see VLAN 100, 200, 300, 400, and they're all on the router as opposed to the switch 1. So we've effectively moved our gateways to the router, built the trunk, which allows all of those VLANs to traverse it, and we should have full connectivity like we did before. It's just our gateways are in a different spot. So let's go ahead and take care of the routes on router 1 as well. We'll do the NAT real quick. We'll build the internet, and then we'll do some verification pings. So first things first, show run, include route. We should have nothing. Show IP route. The only thing it should know about are the connected routes for the sub-interfaces we just created. So what we want to do is we want to create a default route to the internet. So in site A, it was 200.0.1. We're going to do 200.0.2, and we'll make ourselves 2, and we'll make the ISP 1 just like we did before. So name internet. We're going to create the 10.route down to the switch. So we can be specific with 10.2.0.0. 255.255.252. I'll put it in the right spot again. Last time I screwed that up. Actually, I don't need to do that because so that's a difference. So this is a difference between the designs, right? So since the gateways are already directly connected and they reside on this router, I no longer need that route to go to the inside. So that's a key difference in the way we built the design. So it looks like all we're going to need is the route out to the internet. So, and if we don't, we'll come back and we'll fix it. But I believe that all we're going to need is the one route in this particular case. So you can see how moving gateways and changing design ever so slightly has an impact on how things are configured. So let's go ahead and configure E01. Description is going to be 1 gig iNet connection, we'll say no shut, we'll give it IP address 200.0.2. I screwed up, hold on. This should be .2. I built the wrong route, hold on. So this should point to .1. My mistake. Interface E01, IP address 200.0.2.2. We made it /30. We'll follow suit there. And then we're going to attach the IP NAT outside to this interface, which is going to hang the router for 30 seconds. So while that's doing that, let's hop over to the internet. Show IP interface brief. So we're going to configure 02. Description 1 gig iNet to site B. Okay, we're going to say IP address is 200.0.2.1. Okay, show IP interface brief. So now we've got the connection to site A and we've got the connection to site B. Okay, so that's about all we should have to do, because remember, we don't need those funky 10 dot routes. We don't need any of that stuff, so this should be in a good spot. Back to router 1. Okay, came back. Let's go to interface. I guess in hindsight, I should have put the IP NAT inside as I was doing the sub interfaces. Now I got to touch them all again. Okay, let's go ahead and, so first things first, can I ping 200.0.2.1? Okay, good. So the 1 gig connection to the ISP is up. Now we're just kind of configuring the NAT. Okay, so we have to identify our traffic, right? So we're going to create an access control list. So we're going to say access list 100 permit. We're going to say IP 10.0.0.0. We're going to say 0.255.255.255 any. Okay. Then we're going to say IP NAT inside source list 100 out interface E01, and we're going to overload it. All right. Let's save him. Let's go to PC1. Looks like they need to get rebooted. Big shocker. Okay, so now Tappy, show IP. So he's going to get, he was in 200, so 10 to 1, it was, what did I make him, 11, right? I believe so. Of course. Doesn't really matter. We'll make it 11 because it's the 100 was the one we couldn't use 11. Yeah, we're good. So let's get rid of him. /24, his gateway is 10.2.1.1. So let's just make sure he can ping his gateway. 10.2.1.1. So that's good. So now PC1 is connected through VLAN 200 to the switch, which trunks up to the router, which is on a stick, and he has the gateway now. So we can still ping our gateway. Can we ping the internet, or did I forget a step? Nope, we can ping the internet. So that's awesome. So you can see now we've got full connectivity. It would appear we have full connectivity. We're going to verify the second floor as well. But from the first floor, we're able to get to the internet. The internet should not be able to ping us because there's no routes and there's a NAT boundary on router 1. So let's go to PC 2, show IP, okay? So he's going to be in VLAN 300, I think it was, B switch 2. Yeah, 200. So 200 is PC2. So that means he's 12/24, 10.2.1.1, right? Ping 10.2.1.1. Okay, good. So he's access port connected to switch 2, trunked through an ether channel up to switch 1, trunked through another connection to router 1 to hit its gateway. Okay, so that's the difference here. Can I ping the internet? I sure can. Perfect. So let's go over to PC3. And if memory serves, he was VLAN 300. So IP 10.2.2.13/24, 10.2.2.1. Let's just ping our gateway. Good. So we can ping SVI 300 on router 1. Let's see if we can ping the internet. We certainly can. So I know we went a little faster, but it's a lot of repeat stuff there. What was I just going to... Oh, if we go to the router, B router 1, show IP NAT translations. So we can see now this time around we're disguising our inside communication with the 2.2, which is our internet outside IP address of router 1. So it looks very similar, however, it's doing the PAT with a different IP because it's a different site, so that's, as expected, right? Think we're in a good spot. So at this point, we've got a fully functional site A, we've got a fully functional site B. Now we can start to take into consideration the WAN connectivity, and we can start to get traffic to traverse between sites. So we're going to stop here. We'll pick back up in the next video. See you there.